Hi everyone, this is Ruben. I'm the project steward of Zcoin, and it's actually been a while since we last did an update of what's been happening behind the scenes. So wanted to take this opportunity to do so. So first of all, I think what's at the top of everyone's mind is Lelantus, which is our next-gen privacy protocol. First of all, to those who contributed towards the Lelantus audit via our Zcoin crowdfunding system, thank you so much. I mean, we raised quite a bit of money there. It's slightly short of our goal, but it's really helped a lot to actually carry out this audit. So first of all, we engaged TrailBits. They just concluded their review of our library, and the results are really positive. They found the protocol innovative, and they were actually really excited to work with something like this. And their general comments was the code was very easy to understand, and they did have some findings, no critical ones, but ones that we could easily fix. So what we'll be doing is spending the next 1 or 2 weeks or so cleaning out our code to address their concerns, and then we'll be making public the report. So this is really positive news, and is really happy that our audit went through smoothly. And again, thank you for everyone who donated towards it. The second part of the review, which is actually the cryptographic review. So previously we were talking about the library. The cryptographic library is what does all the cryptographic functions, while the cryptographic review is the actual Lelantus paper review to actually see the cryptography behind it. And it's not that it hasn't been looked at. Many cryptographers have looked at it, even those from Narrow Beam, and it's a relatively straightforward protocol. But then again, I think it doesn't hurt to have expert to really spend the time to dig into the nitty-gritty. And we don't foresee any major issues, but we believe it's prudent to do so. So we have just engaged Dmitry Kofratovich. Some of you may know of him of MTP fame. He's also helped us with that. But he's done a lot of reviews on, especially privacy protocols. I think one of the recent audits he did was for Tornado Cash in Ethereum. So we're really excited to get this started. The review will probably take about 3 to 4 weeks. And yeah, we're really hoping that everything goes smoothly. So on the terms of the code development of Lelantus, of course, our cryptographic library is, complete. And actually the integration is going very smoothly. I think most parts of it are actually done. Right now we're working on the GUI, which is the graphical interface, and we're still working on the batch syncing. So what batch syncing is about making sure that when you sync the chain from scratch, you get to verify all these Lelantus proofs in one go rather than doing them individually, which results in huge performance gains and reduces a lot of the delays when syncing the chain from scratch. We're still on track for end of Q3 release, so hopefully that goes before the halving. Our current plan is to basically do this together with the halving. We will update you, but definitely I think no matter what, unless there's some really bad finding from the cryptographic review, which we don't expect, we expect things to go through rather smoothly. So yeah. The next thing that we just completed is actually the Deterministic Masternodes and LLMQ, which are the long-lived masternode quorums. So we managed to migrate successfully to the new system, and it's really it's actually performing really well. The new masternodes are being paid. Those that didn't configure it correctly are properly being banned. And the forums are actually forming. We do have a maintenance release that's coming in the next 1 or 2 days or so, or maybe by the time this video is out, it will already be out. It's nothing major, but just some bug fixes to improve the stability of the network. But otherwise, it's been working well. And right now what we're doing is we're actually stripping all the legacy Z node code, and that would, basically make our code a lot easier to read, and yeah, basically make the code a lot more simpler. Now, with deterministic masternodes LLMQ being done, we are now integrating chain locks and instant send, and these are really two important developments that we want to deploy as soon as possible. So for those of you who don't know, chain locks basically give 51% protection against mining attacks, and as we have seen from several other projects, I believe Bitcoin Go was recently 51% attack, and as well as Beam, another privacy project. And this is it's going to be a continuous problem for proof of work projects, especially those that have focus on commodity hardware like GPUs and things like that. So obviously chain locks really shuts down this attack vector, because what it means is that to actually compromise the chain, you would need not only the hashing power, but you would also need to have control of a significant number of masternodes. Chain locks actually requires a quorum of 400 nodes, so it's not easy to compromise a huge number of masternodes at a time. Instant send uses this long-lived masternode quorums as well to basically allow almost instantaneous sends, and this is pretty big because obviously Zcoin's block time is about 5 minutes, but with instant send we can bring that down to almost like instant confirmation within a couple of seconds, and it means instant private transactions. So that's pretty big, and we hope to deploy this in the next 1 or 2 months or so. So we're still on track on that. We're just doing some maintenance work and stripping all the old code. The other part of that we've been spending a lot of time on is the Electron wallet, or rather what we used to call the Rich GUI wallet. Probably need a new name for that. And there's been a massive backend code cleanup. I think when we first launched the Electron wallet, it was rather sluggish, but we managed to refactor whole portions of the code, and we were about to make a release, and it's pretty good. The only thing that is kind of left is that although we really improved the backend and the experience, the look of the client still looks a bit rough around the edges. They're mainly cosmetic, so we're going to be looking into getting a designer. We're actually looking to hire a new Electron wallet dev that can implement the backend full-time, and we will get a designer to make the wallet look a lot better. So that's really in the works, and really looking forward to transitioning from the Qt wallet to this Electron wallet to be the default wallet. Now the other thing is that I don't know, we have heard about receiver address privacy, wrap addresses, or as an implementation of BIP47. That has been massively delayed. I mean, although the code was delivered last year, we had the Core 14 upgrade and the Znode upgrade, which we did not want to interfere with. And when we actually went to review the code, it wasn't really up to scratch. So we basically decided to refactor it. We have Arcadia that is refactoring a huge portion of it, and I think that's almost complete. And now I think the GUI portions are almost complete. So we're probably about 1 or 2 weeks from releasing this functionality, but we probably still need some time to make sure to review that the work is up to our standards. So yeah, another feature will be soon to be released, and it's pretty exciting as well. The mobile wallet, that has also been delayed. I mean, more or less all the work has been done. But we've been kind of going through a code review with the Edge wallet people, and they've been really generous with their time. They've been going through the PR, every time with us very, very carefully. So that's pretty much done. I think hopefully it will get released in the next 1 or 2 weeks. I know I said this a couple of months ago, but I really think the end is in sight. So we're going to have mobile wallet with Sigma privacy release. It's been delayed so much that Lelantus is coming in the next few months, but I think it's a good starting point. The next kind of work that we want to do is that because we kind of modified the Edge wallet to kind of fit into the Sigma functionality, and one of the feedback we got was that it would be of course better to do it in the form of a SDK, so that we can integrate it with other wallets like Garda or Konami or other people who are willing to integrate our privacy functions. We'll probably do this together, but we'll probably do this for Lelantus, so that we can spend a lot more time in. I guess we don't want to spend any more time on Sigma since Lelantus is only a couple of months away. Right now, so this is another interesting topic that I want to talk about, which is the rise of DeFi. Obviously, if you've been watching the markets or the whole crypto scene, everyone's talking about DeFi or decentralized finance, right? And some people are saying, well, why doesn't Zcoin get into it? Well, first of all, I mean, I don't know if anyone's taken a look, but we've actually joined the Ren Alliance, the Ren project, and we're expecting Ren integration to be in relatively soon. I think most of the work has been done. They're reviewing a PR, and what that actually means is that instead of building our whole DeFi ecosystem, and I think that's all the DeFi work is actually happening on Ethereum right now, and to try and supplant that, which isn't our kind of like our bread and butter. Our bread and butter is privacy. I think it kind of doesn't quite make sense. So it kind of makes sense more to integrate into Ethereum, where all the DeFi action is happening, and we're going to do that through Ren. And Ren does this in a really, really interesting way. It does it through their dark nodes, and it's done in the MPC way, so there's no centralized custodian that holds the Zcoin. It's held by their dark nodes in a sort of like it distributes the trust among several dark nodes. So this is really interesting, and what that means is that when our deposit, it can basically convert Zcoin into Ren XCC, and Ren XCC is basically, it works like a ERC20 token, like an Ethereum token. So you can do all your, you can put it on Uniswap, you can, put it on DYDX, or anything that's on Ethereum that's on the DeFi side, we can participate. Obviously you wouldn't have the privacy features, but they'll be, because of the Ren integration, you can easily go to Ren XCC and trustlessly convert it out from Ren XCC back to Zcoin. So we think that's really, really interesting, and it opens up a lot of possibilities. For example, if you want to do I don't know how to pronounce this, AAVE lending, and yeah, so I guess now is a good time to kind of talk about my thoughts on DeFi in general. And of course many people believe it's just hype, and I think to a certain extent that's true. Right now, we're seeing a lot, the rise of DeFi right now has, I would say, is kind of filled with hype, right, rather than actual substance. But at the same time, that doesn't mean hype can generate useful tools. I mean, we had the ICO booms. They were, of course, majority of them weren't good, but it did rise, give rise to certain pretty good projects. With DeFi, I'm actually more positive because we are seeing really, really interesting tools being built. And one of the things, especially as a privacy token, a continuing problem is actually whether centralized exchanges will continue to embrace privacy coins, right? We've seen a sort of a worrying trend whereby we're seeing, some centralized exchanges, not all of them, like especially in Korea, like Upbit, which recently delisted all privacy coins, even though there was no law requiring them to do so. It was just pressure from regulators. There was no law, and mind you, they just weren't comfortable with it, and rather than spending money to fight for it, they're like, okay, we can just cut out this market out because we're making a lot of money from everything else. Now, this isn't the case. I mean, there are still exchanges that would fight for our privacy. And hopefully like Binance, Bittrex are like exchanges that would defend our rights. But at the same time, we shouldn't be too reliant on them. Now, the best DEXs are on the Ethereum platform. And if anyone's used Uniswap, the process is actually really seamless, besides the high fees. And you're seeing that a lot of tokens can actually sort of survive solely on Uniswap. And of course, I know like those who are privacy conscious may talk about BISC, which I have used before, and frankly, although I really liked the program, it was not easy to use. It was not really a realistic option for me to go in, wait for someone to fulfill my orders and things like that. So I really think that stuff like Uniswap and those type of DeFi exchanges would be, the ones that lead the way. So that's really interesting. Now, I mean, personally, DeFi is kind of like a misnomer. People always think about all this like yield farming and stuff like that, but we can't forget that the original, the kind of like the first app of DeFi is payments, which is what Zcoin is. And we're not forgetting that. We're just mainly making sure that we can explore, especially the use of decentralized exchanges and lending, which do add utility to our coin. We are under no illusions right now that this may be a bubble, but I do think it's worthwhile integrating into the ecosystem and getting further visibility of our project. And who knows, I really think that some of the tools there are really interesting, especially like a REN protocol. That's like a really good project that I personally like, not financial advice. Now, of course, there's the Elysium tokenization layer, which was supposed to allow people to build their own privacy tokens on it. And that's actually live on our network right now, but we actually haven't publicized it for, I guess, two reasons. The first reason is that realistically, if you expect people to use tokenization platform, it has to have wide acceptance. And I don't think just having privacy features or the Sigma privacy is sufficient. Maybe if you want to do your own voting sort of system, but I think the amount of people that would be interested in that are right now in this current climate rather low. But realistically, all this, there is a huge interest in stablecoins, and the idea of private stablecoins is really exciting. And obviously, all the main stablecoins are on the Ethereum platform. So finding a way to bridge this trustlessly in a way that we would be satisfied with has not been easy. There are many people building bridges between Ethereum and their own chains, but most of them are pretty centralized. We haven't really decided the best way to do it. We're still exploring multiple ways. So now, I mean, we have a bridge to get from Zcoin to be represented in Ethereum, but the tricky bit is getting the Ethereum side to be represented on Zcoin. We're in talks with several other projects which may be specialized in this, but nothing confirmed right now. But it is a really active goal. Another thing is that we are coming out with an Elysium Explorer, which is basically just a way to view the assets, kind of like a Scan for Zcoin, right? So that's probably another 3 or 4 weeks to complete, and then we'll be talking about pushing Elysium a lot harder. The last thing I want to talk about is our Particl integration. So first of all, we were really good friends with the Particl team. They are trying a decentralized marketplace, and Zcoin was actually the first coin, I think, after Bitcoin to be added support, and it allows a decentralized marketplace where people can place their goods to sell. I've used it personally. I would say that the user experience still needs some work on, but it's I think a really good step in a step in the right direction, and I do think that they'll be improving their processes in their next release, which should be coming in the next couple of months or so. So stay tuned. But you know, we really like the support from the Particl project. You know, we would encourage our Zcoin users, you know, just check it out and you know, build their own marketplaces and sell stuff that you can do in Zcoin. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. I mean, that's what we always wanted to achieve, to have our usage of our token. So that's all for me for today, and we'll be having our upcoming community meeting later this month. You know, we'll be always happy to answer any questions, and I hope that gives a good overview of what we'll be working on with Zcoin. And again, thank you so much for the community and the support, you know, especially the donations. You know, that really means a lot to us, and it's part about decentralizing our project, and at the same time it's been a really big help. So thank you very much. Have a great day.